Hey, happy Wednesday to you. I'm Jessup Ricebeck. This is your CBS 58 Quickcast. And of course, the day after the midterm election, we wanted to do a little debrief for you on some of the big storylines. Let's bring in Capitol correspondent Emily Fannin in Madison right now. And Emily, not all the races were decided last night, but one of them that was for Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers beating Tim Michels to earn a second term. How'd it play out?
Well, Jessup, what I thought was most interesting throughout the night, I was at the Governor Evers campaign watch party, and a lot of people predicted it would be a much closer race, and it wasn't. I mean, Evers won by 3 percentage points, and that's a much bigger margin than just 4 years ago when he went up against then Republican Governor Scott Walker when it was a 1.1% difference. So that was telling. Also, Tim Michels really underperformed in a lot of the WOW counties. That's the Waukesha, Ozaukee, and Washington counties. Washington County, he didn't do so well in. Waukesha and Ozaukee as well. So at some point, a lot of my sources were texting me and really saying there was no real pathway for Michels to come to a victory. And just a little bit ago, we went to Governor Evers' kind of victory lap tour, and he talked about the significance of him winning this race. And one thing that he pointed out is that he believed the issue of abortion really made a difference when it comes to young college-educated voters. He said even men and women, when he was on the campaign trail, said they really cared a lot about that. And if you look at the turnout numbers, there was massive turnout in the Dane and Milwaukee counties for college-educated voters.
Really quickly, before we move on, Emily, last night you told us on the way from the governor's mansion to his celebration where he did his victory speech, you said he was busy playing euchre. Did you do any deeper diving into that today to figure out how he fared in those games of euchre?
Of course I did.
Oh,
I mean, that's the #1 question on every voter's mind this morning. So I gotta do some history on that. Back in 2018, that of course was his ritual, and it worked. And so I asked him the day before the election if he plans on carrying out that tradition, which he did. And today he confirmed that he won every game of euchre he played with his family members last night. So you could say maybe it's a good luck charm for him.
Clean sweep of victories for Mr. Evers last night. Nicely done. All right, moving on to the Senate race. This was a lot closer. You mentioned maybe the governor's race wasn't as close as some people thought. This one probably did live up to the billing of the closeness, if you will. Republican Ron Johnson named the winner today, not last night, but today, beating Mandela Barnes for the U.S. Senate. The significance of this, though, Emily, the split ticket voting. Democratic governor, Republican Senate. Please speak on that.
Yeah, very interesting. You know, leading up to this, too, a lot of Republicans I talked to thought this was not possible at all. Why? Because look at the statistics. This has not happened since 1998, when then Republican Governor Tommy Thompson won on the same ballot as U.S. Senate candidate, or excuse me, U.S. Senator Russ Feingold, who was a Democrat. So it has been over 2 decades since we've seen this in Wisconsin. And so it really just speaks to the nature that when many people didn't think this was possible, especially during a time how polarized our politics have become, that anything can really happen in this battleground state. So that was a very big surprise to learn about. But I will note, polling did indicate that this was a possibility. I know a lot of people thought this couldn't happen, but Evers was leading in the polls almost all throughout the primary leading into election night. So did Ron Johnson. So we kind of saw those trends. So there's kind of your proof in the pudding there.
Appreciate the proof in the pudding, as always, Emily. Lastly, let's touch on the Wisconsin Attorney General race, also called today. Josh Kaul beating Eric Toney. Again, the incumbents kind of jumps out at me. Obviously, Tony Evers, Ron Johnson, and Josh Kaul, all incumbents. In your eyes, why is it so tough to beat an incumbent?
Well, they run on their record, whereas Kaul's opponent, Eric Toney, didn't really have much to run on. He made a lot more attacks and accusations against Kaul, but Kaul really was able to especially use his ability of him filing the abortion lawsuit. He's challenging that in court right now with the Evers administration, kind of to his favor. He also held an event here in Madison after his race was called this morning, and he talked about that. You know, I mentioned that earlier in the show, Jessup, that Evers thought abortion helped him carry him to the finish line. Well, Call also thought as well, and he was he was headlining a lot of newspaper articles. We talked about it oftentimes on here about that litigation that's ongoing about Wisconsin's criminal abortion ban. So he was in front of the cameras more. He was talking about it, and I think that's what made it difficult for Eric Toney to make some gains on him.
Before we let you go, I don't know if the forefathers would be too much into this idea, but your thoughts on deciding elections with games of euchre. Voters don't have to vote. We just put the two guys in a room and make them, or gals, and make them play euchre. Yay or nay?
I mean, I am all for that.
All right.
I'm all for that. I think it would be interesting. And I even asked the governor, anytime he wants to play or teach me how to play. I remember learning about 5 years ago, but it's a very complicated game, so I need a refresher. Well,
there's a story right there for you. One-on-one, Emily and Governor Evers playing euchre. We love it. Emily, thank you so much for your time and great work on this election. And all of our election results and our reporting is on our website, CBS58.com. Changing gears now, let's get over to Rebecca Schold. Weather-wise, beautiful out there, Rebecca.
Oh, we're back well above the averages. Temperatures for some of us already near 70 this afternoon. Now, very mild weather is expected as we head into the overnight, only dropping into the upper 50s. So that will set the stage for near record warmth tomorrow at 74 degrees. A cold front will be approaching later on in the day, and it could trigger some showers and some storms. And then as we continue on through at least the first part of the night, we will stay mild with a few of those lingering showers, but we are on record watch. Near record highs tomorrow, and for sure by tomorrow night, probably smashing that all-time record high min, which stands at 49. We're only going down to about 55 by the midnight hour, but then eventually past midnight, we do see temperatures drop back to the 30s by Friday morning. So again, that temp drop is coming. Enjoy the 70s tomorrow. By Friday, highs only in the 40s.
All right, Rebecca, thank you so much. And in sports, the Packers host the Cowboys and former Super Bowl winning head coach Mike McCarthy on Sunday, of course, trying to snap that 5-game losing streak, while the Bucs look to get back into the winning column against the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight. Coming up tonight on the CBS 58 News at 9 and 10, a deeper dive into the Wisconsin race for U.S. Senate, what went wrong and right for the candidates, plus more takeaways from a historic election night. We will see you tonight, but for now, that is your CBS 58 Quickcast. Maybe not as quick as some of them, but we hope you enjoyed our election coverage. It's been an honor to bring it to you. I'm Jessa Breisbeck. Thanks so much for watching.